8 types of depression you should know. Hello, lovely YouTube family. Welcome back to Healthy Drops. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Here are 8 types of depression you should know. Starting off at number 1, understanding depression. Everyone experiences an era of deep sorrow and sorrow. These feelings usually disappear within a few days or weeks, depending on the situation. However, intense sadness that lasts for more than 2 weeks and affects the ability to function can be a sign of depression. Depression affects everyone differently and may only show some of these symptoms. There may be other symptoms not listed here. Remember that it is normal for some of these symptoms to occur from time to time without getting depressed. If your symptoms begin to affect your daily life, they may be the result of depression. There are many types of depression. These types share some common symptoms, but also some important differences. Let's take a look at the types of depression and how they affect people. Number 2, major depression. Major depression is a common recurrent illness. According to a 2017 survey, approximately 17.3 million adults in the United States experience at least one major depressive episode. People with major depression have symptoms most of the day. Like many mental illnesses, it has little to do with what's happening around you. You can have a loved one, a friend, and a dream job. You can live a life in which others envy you and suffer from depression. Even if there is no obvious reason for your depression to exist, it does not mean that it is not genuine or that you can just put up with it. These symptoms can last for weeks or months. Some people may have a single episode of major depression, while others will experience it for the rest of their lives. No matter how long your symptoms last, major depression can cause problems in your relationships and daily life. 3. Persistent depression. Persistent depressive disorder is depression that has lasted for more than 2 years. People sometimes call this dysthymia or chronic depression. Persistent depression may not feel as severe as severe depression, but it can still strain relationships and make day-to-day work difficult. This is a long-term form of depression that can fade for months before symptoms worsen. Some people also have episodes of major depression before or while they have a persistent depressive disorder. This is called double depression. Persistent depression lasts for years at a time, so people with this type of depression may start to feel like their symptoms are just part of their normal outlook on life. Number 4, manic depression. Manic depression involves periods of mania or hypomania where you feel very happy. These periods alternate with episodes of depression. Manic depression is an outdated name for bipolar disorder. Hypomania is a less severe form of mania. For a medical professional to diagnose you with bipolar disorder, you have to experience an episode of mania that lasts 7 days or less if hospitalization is required. You can experience depression episodes before and after a manic episode. In severe cases, episodes may include hallucinations and delusions. You can also have mixed episodes in which you have symptoms of both mania and depression. Hallucinations are when you see, hear, smell, taste, or feel things that aren't there. An example of this would be hearing voices or seeing people who are not present. 5. Depressive psychosis. Some people with major depression may experience periods of psychosis. This can involve hallucinations and delusions. Medical professionals refer to this as a major depressive disorder with psychotic features. However, some providers still refer to this phenomenon as depressive psychosis or psychotic depression. Depression with psychosis can cause physical symptoms as well, including problems sitting still or slowed physical movements. Number 6, perinatal depression. Perinatal depression or major depressive disorder with peripartum onset occurs during pregnancy or within 4 weeks of childbirth. People may refer to this as postpartum depression, but that term only applies to depression after giving birth. Perinatal depression can occur while you're pregnant, and a trusted source says hormonal changes during pregnancy and childbirth can trigger changes in the brain that lead to mood swings. The lack of sleep and physical discomfort that often accompany pregnancy and having a newborn does not help either. People who lack support or have had depression before are at increased risk of developing perinatal depression, but it can happen to any person who is pregnant or just gave birth. Number 7, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder, PMDD, is a severe form of premenstrual syndrome, PMS. Symptoms of PMS can be both physical and psychological, but symptoms of PMDD are primarily psychological. These psychological symptoms are more serious than those associated with PMS. For example, some people become more emotional in the days leading up to their period. However, people with PMDD may experience levels of depression and sadness that interfere with their daily functions, similar to perinatal depression. PMDD may be associated with hormonal changes. Symptoms often begin shortly after ovulation and begin to subside as soon as menstruation begins. While some people dismiss premenstrual dysphoria as a bad example of PMS, premenstrual dysphoria can be very serious and can be accompanied by suicidal thoughts. Number 8. Seasonal depression. Seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder is depression that's related to certain seasons. Medical professionals refer to this as a major depressive disorder with a seasonal pattern. For most people with seasonal depression, it tends to happen during the winter months. Seasonal depression may get worse as the season goes on, and it can lead to suicidal thoughts. Once spring rolls around, symptoms tend to improve. This may relate to changes in your bodily rhythms in response to the increase in natural light. That is all for today, folks. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing videos promised.